I work for a company called Cassini Reviews. It's something I set up with a partner from IDC and Tech Market View about 15 months ago. We focus as analysts and consultants on the data center space, primarily to help the co-location companies with their business models, understanding what they need to do as the cloud world begins to disintermediate and disrupt their marketplace. Well, no, I think the cloud absolutely will be the mechanism by which IT is delivered to the enterprise. The question for the data centers is, where are they going to sit on the ecosystem? Are they going to sit right down at the bottom, just as the provider of the sort of space and power and light, or can they come further up and actually help customers with that transition to the cloud and work in partnership with other people in the ecosystem so that they don't just become disrupted and disintermediated, which is a danger. But data centers will be here forever because, in fact, they're growing at pace. Well, I suppose when we've just started to shift towards understanding the CIOs, because we need to do that to help the data centers position themselves and get their business models right. And the sort of things we're hearing from CIOs at the moment, I suppose two things really come to the fore. The first is almost a basic one, which is they've made the conscious decision that they're going to move to the cloud, but they're looking at it and going, I'm not sure how to start and how I get there. Clearly the big enterprises, major CIOs will have teams that help them do that, but many companies are finding, I really don't know how to start. And they're confused by the stories that they get told by the infrastructure providers, by hardware vendors, by even by data centers, which really tells an infrastructure story. Whereas actually what's driving this move is about applications. And so we're just starting to get people, starting to tell the application story, and actually it's about applications. That's one. The second challenge for those that have gone into the cloud is they've got multiple clouds. And how do I actually manage, a few years ago the term was broker, who's going to be the cloud broker? I'm not so sure it's cloud brokerage now, but there is a need to provide management of multiple clouds. I don't think we're going to get to a point in the near future where enterprises are using a single cloud. I think they'll use multiple clouds, both hybrid and public and private. And managing those is going to be a challenge. Those are the key things. How do we help them? Well, I suppose it's not our role to help the CIOs, it's our role to help the data centers position themselves, articulate their story, and work with partners so that they can help the CIO. I'm not going to go and help a CIO get that right, that's not my role, but we use that story to help the data centers position themselves and work better in partnership with maybe application providers. The main drive this year for us really is working with particularly the co-location providers to help them reposition themselves. That's get their business models right for the future. They are the ones particularly, I think, who are on one hand seeing quite a lot of business come through that's just being pulled through by the cloud, but are seeing their value proposition being eroded and eroded and eroded. And I think the smaller regional ones will find life really difficult. A big one like Equinix has got a good value proposition around interconnection. So our focus is really going to be helping some of the small regional, medium-sized regional colo players to get their business models and their value propositions in order to deal with what we're seeing happening here in this hall, in terms of the cloud.